Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Hurricane Watch Team is here through a latest update on Hurricane Ida is now a Category 2 hurricane. The latest update from the National Hurricane Center. Here it is. You can clearly see a well-defined eye with winds of a sustained of 100 miles per hour, 976 millibars. You can clearly see that eye right there. It has only become more well-defined. It's moving in the northwesterly direction towards Louisiana. Heavy rain and gusty winds are expected. Flooding and storm surge are highly expected with Hurricane Ida as it approaches New Orleans and south central to southeast Louisiana. You can clearly see this right here. Here's the eye right here, very well defined. Winds 100 miles an hour. It only needs to increase by 15 more miles per hour to become a major hurricane. 30 more miles per hour to become a major Category 4 hurricane. So if this storm increases by about another 30 miles per hour, it will become a major Category 4 hurricane, making it 130 miles an hour. So this currently has winds of 100 miles per hour. Increase from 85 miles per hour at 10 a.m. to 100 miles an hour at 1 p.m. That's quite a bit. So this is what we're looking at right here. Now a 100 mile an hour Category 2 hurricane in the Atlantic. So that's what we're looking at here right now at the moment. So here's the latest update from the National Hurricane Center. This is what they are saying. At 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time, Saturday, August 28, 2021, Hurricane Ida continues intensifying over the Gulf of Mexico. Preparations to protect life and property should be rushed to completion today in the warning area along the northern Gulf Coast. Currently, again, has winds of 100 miles per hour. With an air pressure down to 976. It was at 985 between 985 and 984 millibars at 10 a.m. So by 4 p.m. at this rate, it could be much stronger by 4 p.m. No changes are with the advisory. As you can see, the discussion is saying winds, it will peak at 130 miles per hour still. This is still the older update. It said that by 12 hours it should have winds of 115. So it's still saying that if it has 115 miles an hour by 10 p.m. you could still see a Category 4 hurricane making landfall, which I think at this rate, if we continue to see this, we could be seeing this happen even sooner. I really want to talk about the rainfall because the rainfall really is making me a little bit nervous because that has only increased a little bit more. But first, I want to double check to see if we have any comments, questions, or concerns. Hello. Wait, doesn't it always say special live broadcast? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but okay. When does the stream start? It looks like a Cat 3. I gotta go for a bit. Hello. Okay. All right. Yes, stream has started. It must have been a bit ago. So let's get into this. So what I'm seeing here is we're starting to see not only these peaks right here, which indicate 10 to 15 inches of rain, but a thin line of dark purple right in through here, which comes up through here a little bit. So right along the coast of where this makes landfall, there's a possibility of 15 to 20 inches of rainfall. But a majority of southeast Louisiana will see anywhere from 10 to 15 inches of rain. Isolated areas will get 15 inches of rain. Majority will be about 10 inches of rain, but isolated areas farther east could be up to 15 inches of rain. So that's what we're dealing with in terms of flooding. Very heavy amounts of flooding, still anywhere from 10 to 15. And again, along the very southern coast of Louisiana could see as much as 20 inches of rain. That's almost 2 feet of rain. 24 inches is 2 feet. So almost 2 feet of rain in this part of Louisiana. Very, very extreme. Could potentially be almost catastrophic. So that's what we're looking at right here. Lots of flooding. There's a high chance of flooding with Hurricane Ida right now for south central Louisiana. Very unfortunate. The flash flooding potential remains a high in south central and southeast Louisiana. Louisiana and Mississippi will see anywhere from a high to a moderate chance of flooding, and areas outside of that will see a slight to a marginal chance of flooding. Tornado is not on here yet. It'll be right over here, I believe. Excuse me. Jesus Lord. They're still saying about 10 to 15 feet of storm surge. So storm surge is still certainly going to be a big problem with this storm in the future as it makes landfall. So 10 to 15 feet of storm surge warning makes landfall. To the west, anywhere from 1 to 3 feet to 6 to 9 feet of storm surge. And then to the west, to the east, 7 to 11 feet over here. All the lakes, Lake Pontchartrain, 4 to 7 feet. And we could be seeing, even down to the Alabama border, we could be seeing about 4 to 7 feet. And farther east of that, Mobile Bay could be seeing 2 or 4 feet of storm surge. So there's still going to be quite a lot of storm surge with this storm because the hurricane's really big. Let's just show you just an idea of just how big Hurricane Ida is. Let's just take a look at the Gulf of Mexico right now. I mean, it's not massive like Katrina or anything, thank God, but it is a pretty good sized hurricane. So let me just show you how big this hurricane is. So this is Hurricane Ida right here, as y'all can tell. There's the center circulation right there. So it covers a pretty big area, and it's expanding more as we go through time. So this storm's going to get bigger as it moves to the northwest. The bigger the storm gets, the more intense it gets, and the stronger it gets, the larger it is, the more water it's going to be able to push on shore. So that's going to be a problem. Outer rain bands approaching the north coast of Mississippi, Alabama, and the panhandle of Florida. Some of those rain bands are already beginning to approach southeast Louisiana right now as we speak. So there would be a lot of heavy rain with this. And this is unfortunately just the start of it. It's not a major hurricane yet, but it's more than likely expected to intensify and blossom into a catastrophic hurricane. Fortunately, the only good news out of this, well, there's two bits of good news. This storm is moving relatively quickly, about 15 to 16 miles per hour, and it will not stall over Louisiana like Harvey did over Texas or Dorian did over the Bahamas. So this storm will not stall. It will keep moving, but the other bad news with this is that it will slow down, but it will not stall. And it is moving at a quicker pace, so it's not able to intensify to a Category 5 as quickly. It's moving a little bit quicker. If it was moving maybe 7 or 8 miles an hour, that would certainly be a problem with the intensity and how powerful this could get. But because it's moving at a much faster pace, it's not going to have as much time to go through rapid intensification and become a catastrophic hurricane, which is good. As much of a catastrophic hurricane, it's still going to be very catastrophic at 130, 120, 130 miles per hour. So just absolutely incredible. So here's Hurricane Ida. Again, we're going to be looking at power outages for sure. We're going to be watching as this hurricane makes its way towards the coast. So here is some radar. As you can see, the center of circulation still really far offshore. This is the satellite, so you can clearly see the eye. Some rain bands making their way in Florida and in Louisiana. These are the hurricane force wind speed probabilities. 70 to an 80% chance of hurricane force wind speed probabilities. I do expect that to go to 90 to 100% chance of hurricane force wind speed probabilities, for sure. So again, this is more radar. We have an idea of just where the storm is. You can kind of see where the center of circulation sort of is at. It's kind of hard because it's not super well defined in this right here. So definitely going to be dealing with a hurricane developing and producing a lot of wind and rain and just floods. It's just going to be bad. It's unfortunate, but that is what's going to be happening. This is the latest satellite imagery of Hurricane Ida, as you can see, as it loads. And there's the eye that begins to pop out right there. And there you go, there's Hurricane Ida. We got that here. So yes, it is a Category 2 hurricane with winds of 100 miles per hour with higher gusts. Any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to put those in the chat. I cannot emphasize this enough. These are the watches and warnings in place as of 1 p.m. I believe this is from the Weather Channel, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. This graphic, I think, is from the Weather Channel. So you got hurricane warnings all the way from here. Hurricane warnings from about here all the way along the coast, even into all of southern Louisiana, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Grand Isle, and then tropical storm warnings through Lake Charles, all the way through Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and even into Mobile, Alabama. So, and they could even see some tropical storm conditions, possibly, depending on how powerful this gets. The more powerful the storm gets, the larger it gets, the wider those tropical storm force wind fields are going to go. The tropical storm watches to the north, because once this makes landfall down here, it's going to slow down and it's going to move to the north like this. And so they have tropical storm watches up there because they think that in the next 36 to 48 hours they could have tropical storm conditions near Monroe. That's Monroe, Arkansas, and Jackson, Mississippi there. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, we are going to be seeing some tornadoes. So tornadoes are going to be an issue with this. In Mississippi, Alabama, and even the panhandle of Florida could see some isolated tornadoes, some water spouts coming off. So even though the hurricane isn't making landfall there, having boats and going, fishing would be very dangerous. You have even a small tornado with 60 to 70 mile an hour, or it's not a tornado when it's over water, a water spout with 60 to 70 mile an hour maximum winds. That can do a lot of damage if it comes right over your boat. It can destroy your boat. Boats can be, if it's a small craft, definitely. Now if it's a much larger ship, like a ship container, it won't do as much damage. But if this is a smaller sailboat or a private watercraft, it will do a lot of damage. It will probably destroy it. If a water spout comes by and you're just on the shore, 60 to 70 mile an hour water spout will do a lot of damage. So be careful about that. Stay indoors. Do not go out looking for the tornado, because you may be caught in it. So just stay in your home. If you're hunkering down, if you're under tornado warning, hunker down. Go to a room where you have as many walls between yourself and the outside, the literal outside world. So please, but if you have the chance and you have the option to evacuate, please evacuate. Get out of here. Get to Dallas. Get as far west as you can. If you just go east, you're just going to get a lot of heavy rain. You could get flooded out. Go west, go towards Dallas, go to Houston, go to Austin, go as far west as you can possibly go. Hell, go to California if you want to. Just go west, get out of the storm if you can. Because once you're stuck in the storm, once they close the roads down, you can't leave and you have to shelter in place. And emergency crews can't come out if you call for help. They cannot come out because it's just simply too dangerous. They do not want to put the people's lives in danger. 140 mile an hour winds will definitely kill people. Cannot survive those conditions. So this is what we're looking at right here in terms of hurricane warnings. Most of southern Louisiana is under hurricane warning. Southern Mississippi, southern Alabama over here under tropical storm warning, and the western part of Louisiana is also under tropical storm warning. So this is also what we're looking at too. So tropical storm watches, warnings, just all over the place. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Yeah, really, really bad. So, really, really starting to develop. Again, this is the storm surge. Up to 10 to 15 foot of storm surge is likely and possible. Very, very bad. I see 985. I don't see 970 though, but I still find that incredibly hard to believe that they haven't found 970 something millibar. But that was a while ago, so it is what it is. Could you close up? RECON takes off in about 10 minutes. Alright, so RECON is going to be taking off at about 1:30 p.m. Central Time, 18:30 UTC. Is this going to load or not? Oh, great. It was just loading. Okay. Is this doing an eye wall replacement cycle right now? Because the eye looks like it's gotten smaller. To be honest, I think. Nose itches. This would load, it would be great. There's the eye right there developing. We're at 17%, 20%. So it's taking a lot longer than I like. So I'm gonna keep talking about some of the worst things that you may have to watch out for. So yeah, we will be talking about power outages. Power outages are gonna be widespread across South Central Louisiana. And potentially lots of flooding. So right here, you can really see where they're starting to see that 15 inches to 20 inch area right through here. It kind of ends right here, but 10 to 15 inches for most of South Central Louisiana. But if this slows down or anything, we could be dealing with possibly up to 20 inches of rain. Okay, it's at 73% done. So you can really see that eye has developed. You can really see it, but it looks like it's going through an eye wall replacement cycle right now. We will get, yes. Also, it's not starting. Oh, okay. It's not. Maybe that's just. Talk about Nora. All right, most certainly will. Here's Hurricane Nora right here. So Hurricane Nora has winds of 80 miles an hour. There are hurricane warnings in effect for the western coast of Mexico. Actually, I could just do this. Oh, 85 miles an hour, actually. So, Nora strengthening while an eye forms just off the coast of Jalisco Air Force Reserve. Hurricane Hunter en route to investigate. Wow. So, in terms of graphics, this is what we're looking at right now. It is right there, right off the coast. It's going to stay a hurricane pretty far for quite a while. The tropical storm wind field is almost a complete perfect circle. It is one of the most perfectly round, I don't even know, but there it is. It is, in fact, a hurricane with winds of about 85 miles per hour right now. Let's have a look and see what we're looking at. It is a not very good looking eye, going to be honest. And then this is going to bring lots of heavy rain into parts of northwestern Mexico, and could even bring some heavy rain into parts of south central Arizona. I think that's Arizona, right? Yeah. This better be Arizona. I'd be so embarrassed. Wait for this darn thing to finish loading. There's, we're not even at 50%. 53, 60. So you can kind of see the storm developing, lots of rotation there. You can kind of see the center circulation right here. Lots of energy, lots of moisture. Oh, you can kind of see the eye trying to pop out. So yeah, here's Hurricane Nora right here. Clearly you can see where the center circulation is right there. You can kind of see here's the coast of Mexico over here, producing lots of heavy rain and gusty winds, but kind of convection dies down, and then the convection kind of blows up again. So lots of heavy rain and gusty winds is expected with Hurricane Nora. Along the coast of Mexico, flooding is definitely expected. So right there, right on the edge. So they're definitely getting those strong, at least 70, 75 probably mile an hour sustained winds if not up to 80-mile-per-hour sustained winds in that area. Because that eye is just right on the edge of the coast where it would be doing a lot of coastal damage. If there's any coastal cities in that area, it would be very, very serious. So that is what we're looking at right now. Lots of coastal damages would be done along the western coast of Mexico as it continues to move up the coast, up through the Gulf of California. And then now we're also going to be looking at some hurricane models too, while we wait for RECON to get going. Let's see what HWRF is saying for Ida. Says a landfall at 949 millibars. Let's see what the maximum sustained winds are. Let me just zoom this in a tiny bit. Let's see, at 10-meter wind, we're seeing maximum sustained winds of just shy. Let me see. So there it is. It peaks before it even makes landfall. So it peaks at 130 miles per hour, 958 millibars, and it just sort of weakens very quickly. 60 miles an hour. It falls apart relatively quickly, as you can see. 80, and there you go. Looks like hurricane force, really the strongest winds really are just along the coast. That's what I'm seeing, and then as you can clearly see as it goes inland. See what the global forecasting system is saying for Hurricane Ida. A very weak storm. It's got winds of 85 knots, so this GFS is already underestimating the intensity of it. Because it's already got winds of over about 90 knots, I think, 100 miles an hour. Maybe it's 85 knots. Let's see what they're saying. When is this thing going to realize it's not going to get that strong? We're not going to have an 899 millibar hurricane smashing in, you know? Okay, well, 905 is a little bit more better. There's 914, 923, 930. I just don't understand. Alright, first of all, let's get in some simulated simulated clouds here. If the models would, if anything would freaking load, like, geez. I'm not sure what advisories those are, but I can actually go to the National Weather Service. see what we're looking at here. Let me just go to the home for the National Weather Service. No, okay. NWS. Can I move it to this area? No. Oh my god, here. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to get this to load. Gosh darn. Take forever. The hell. It's 13 hours. It's 14 hours. There's 15. Oh, okay. We got 16 hours. Wow, look at that eye, y'all. It's just. I still don't understand how this could happen. How this storm could still. While they're still showing 899 millibar peak. I'm just like, huh? What is happening? I mean, the eye doesn't even look that well developed, and it's showing a 900 millibar hurricane. The winds, the air pressure, and the satellite imagery don't add up. That's all I'm saying. This does not look like some catastrophic hurricane yet. I mean, it doesn't have a well-defined eye. It just, I mean, it has a defined eye, but it's not like super round or anything. It's kind of, and it doesn't, I mean, it really begins to organize right at landfall. Now, let's pull you back here. Kind of see, boom. So you can clearly see there'll be a lot of rain bands. But even from the point of here, when it makes landfall in an estimated 31 hours, or 30 hours, 8 hours, it's still in southern Louisiana. 9 hours, 10 hours, 11 hours, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and like 18 to 20, 15 to 20 hours will roughly get its way out of here. That's really what you can kind of see in terms of what the storm is going to do. I mean, we're just going to have to watch and see how much more well-defined, how much better organized the storm is going to get. We just don't really know. This is the latest satellite imagery of Hurricane Ida right now. So I'm going to continuously talk about what you need to do to prepare for this hurricane. Because there's a lot that you're going to need to do to prepare. Go away, I don't care. Well, not a lot more if you've done a lot already. You're going to need just basically hunker down. Be prepared to see winds of 130 to 140 miles per hour. This has already got 100 miles an hour, and we still got 24 to 30 hours out from when it makes landfall from now. 24 to 30 hours until it makes landfall. So you're going to see maximum sustained winds of up to 130 to 140 mile per hour sustained winds. It's got 100 miles an hour right now. At the rate that it's developing, we could see a major hurricane by later this afternoon into this evening. And I think by tomorrow, I mean, there's sadly just so much. What? No. Sadly, this is just not it. We still got, you still will have a lot to deal with beyond the amount of rain that you're going to get. You're going to have storm surges. You're going to have gusty winds. You're going to have fallen trees. You're going to have damage done to your house. There's going to be things hitting your house. Sheet metal. I mean, it's been things I've seen or have been horrible. Some of my videos are horrible. So, absolutely catastrophic. Just incredible. So just be prepared for this hurricane. It is hard to prepare for something so catastrophic, though. Let's see. Anything else I need to really talk about? Just really want to make sure I cover what needs to be covered and said what needs to be said about Hurricane Ida, as we are starting to see the rain bands approach. All right, let me just look at. Can I look at radar? See, again, heavy rainfall, flash flooding, and isolated tornadoes are possible Sunday into Monday. Now is a great time to enact hurricane plans and prepare your emergency supply kit. So yeah, be prepared, and you probably and you might want to leave. It's probably a good idea to start with. Might want to evacuate. It's a pretty good idea, something you'd want to do. So you can already see some of them rain bands making their way into Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. So there you go. You see 100 miles an hour, 115 miles an hour, 130 miles an hour. So again, we're dealing with we could be dealing with a major Category 4 hurricane. Oh, I want this on. I don't want this on. Okay, perfect. Wait for this to load, and then I'm going to also be talking. So this is the latest satellite imagery of Hurricane Ida and the radar. So you can really see some of these heavier showers up in the northern parts of Mississippi and Alabama. Really heavy. You'll be getting a lot of these outer rain bands, a lot of heavy thunderstorms and rain showers from this. And sometimes some of as it gets closer, the winds are going to pick up. So conditions this afternoon are only going to deteriorate upon landfall, and once it makes landfall, then conditions are going to slowly. Well, I mean, they're going to get better because it's going to go. People are going to go. It's going to go. People are going to be. The eyes are going to go over them, and they're going to think it's a lot better, and then you're going to get the backside of it, and you're going to have also 130 to 140 mile an hour winds. So you can kind of see these rain bands. I really want to talk about these showers up here because you're also going to be seeing showers like that also. Okay, so yeah. So even if we look in just the past 12 hours, and we take a look at this region, you can really see this is the area that we're talking about. We're going to be talking about these thunderstorms. You can kind of see, isolated thunderstorms, little showers popping up, but then you start to get these clumps of thunderstorms really developing down here and moving in this direction with the motion of the storm. And that's pretty much what y'all are going to continue to see for the rest of the afternoon into the evening hours. So this was a pretty big but a pretty big line of thunderstorms through here that came and really produced a lot of heavy rain. And this is just going to be the start of what we're going to see. We're going to continue to see this in the coming day, through the rest of the afternoon into the evening. So we're going to continue to see this. So we got those, and then boom, we're going to have more showers like this popping up as the sun gets closer. So this will sort of already saturate the entire ground. What this does is it saturates the ground, makes the ground incredibly wet, makes all the trees weak. So when you have that 140 mile an hour to 130 mile an hour sustained wind and gusts to over 150 miles an hour, it's going to easily just knock over trees very easily, especially along the coast. Like Mobile, Gulf Shores, is it Mississippi Gulf Shores? I don't remember now. Gulf Shores, Alabama? No, Gulf Shores, Mississippi for sure. So we're going to continue to see that, showers like that popping up through the rest of the afternoon into the evening hours. We're also going to be talking about possible tornadoes also, but currently I don't think there's a tornado, a huge giant tornado risk. So clearly this is the eye right here. Home. Let's take a look at active alerts. Radar. Yeah, their radar is absolutely terrible. I hate to say it, though. It's true. Oops, that's not what I'm going to click on. Okay. So we're going to continue to watch this because it's going to be a bad storm. Does anyone have any comments, questions, or concerns? Because I like to keep these short, 30 to 40 minutes or so. I like to give you all the information, and I don't like to keep you all for hours and hours and hours and hours, and think you'll have to stay and watch. So just so we know, we're going to continue to see the heavy rain and possible flooding into Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana through the rest of today. So just wanted to let y'all know about that because, again, thunderstorms and showers like this will be more regular and we'll see these pop up a lot more often. Does anyone have any comments, questions, or concerns? Because I'm probably going to end this off very soon. I like to keep these short and sweet. This is the latest satellite imagery of Hurricane Ida. I like to keep these short and sweet. I will be doing updates once every 3 hours. Again, the next update will be at 4 p.m. Central Time. And again, we will see. We talk about this as the storm continues to develop and undergo rapid intensification. And with all that being said, this is your latest update on tropical of Hurricane Ida. Maximum sustained winds are 100 miles an hour, 976 millibars. Storm continues to undergo rapid intensification up until landfall. We do predict 130 to 140 mile per hour major hurricane here at the Hurricane Watch Team. And with all that being said, have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, and I'll see you later this afternoon. Peace out.